Good evening. Welcome to Ignite Your Soul Connection Day 5. We have spent an entire week with you talking about the New Earth children. So it's just very exciting to get to this final day and be able to share information primarily for parents and guardians. We want to be able to support you in moving into a position to support your children and even provide them the things that they need so that they can be of greater service to you. I know that sounds a little strange, but really we were able to distinguish this week that parenting is a spiritual path. And once we're able to surrender to the care of our children and to caring for them in a way that helps them to evolve, it in turn helps us to evolve. So on Monday, we started off with Timothy and Iccha talking to us about the destiny card readings and the natal charts. And again, they had some very amazing offers. So I'm going to continue to stress the importance of having your child and you get a natal chart done or a destiny card chart done, or both even. We actually do that in our family for our children, both the natal and the destiny cards. And we look at them regularly, matter of fact, almost daily. And then on Tuesday, we talked about what is true education. And we distinguished that true education is actually being able to know yourself. So for you as a parent to know yourself and then to also teach the child the importance of them knowing their self. And then on Wednesday, we did healing arts with Aaron, where we really looked at what is the art of healing and what are the technologies, the tools, the methodologies available so that we can be personally responsible for our own well-being. And we looked at that through the life quadrant, which we call the MEPS program. And on Thursday, we talked about the Tao of parenting, really looking at the parenting being a spiritual path, but also talking about a course that we offer through Masterforce called the Tao of Parenting. And Teresa and Ninii spoke about that because they both took that course and they spoke about the difference that it made for them with their children. Matter of fact, several of the coaches have taken that course and made changes in their own family. And so that brings us to tonight. And we're speaking with Alanda and Ninii. So we have a grandmother on board. We have two grandmothers because I also am a grandmother. And then we also have a mother. So we're offering information, not just based on the things that we have studied and learned through Masterforce, but also things that we've applied in our own life through our course, through our mistakes or our missteps, and what we've learned and inside of our mastery, moving beyond those things that caused us to stumble. And so why don't I open up the line? I'm expecting Iccha to join us at any moment. We were having another challenge with sound tonight, and we already know what that is. So we're not concerned about it because we're going to always continue to bring to you what we say that we're going to bring to you. So I want to bring on, go ahead, open up Alanda and Ninii and introduce yourself, and then we'll go right into the questions. Oh, there's Iccha.
Oh, I was just going to say Iccha's with us. Hey, everybody. It's Ninii Thompson. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been here all week. And this is my third time being on, and I'm excited. I am an executive life coach with Masterforce. I'm a facilitator of the curriculum, and I'm just happy to be here and answer you guys' questions that you have been posting on our other videos, on our Facebook pages. So I'm excited to speak with you tonight.
And Ninii, I just want to acknowledge you for being here all week because on top of you being a Masterforce executive coach, and on top of you facilitating Masterforce life coach classes And on top of you being a program manager for the ACES program, and on top of you being the point person for our midsummer event, you also have your own business, and you're also homeschooling your son, and you have an amazing husband who is also a Master Force coach. So,
yes.
I just want to say thank you. And it's a ton of things that I did not mention that you do. And just because of that, I don't take lightly your time and your energy and your effort and even your gifts that you shared with us this week. So thank you for knowing that who you are matters to us and to our audience. So thank you.
No, thank you so much. That means everything.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, Alanda, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. And yes, Ninii has been here all week, and you all been doing an amazing job. And Ninii writes. Ninii got a book out. Ninii got some
That's
books
right.
out.
I forgot about the author, right? See there?
Author too. One thing, I'm Alanda Gregory. I am also an executive life coach for Master Force. I facilitate courses as well. I am facilitating the summer program for the teens. Mm-hmm. And I am a grandmother of 9 and mother of 5. And I have a spouse. He hasn't done the Master Force. He said he gets it through whatever. But anyway, he's a character.
He's a Scorpio.
Yes, he said osmosis, but however, yes. So I am so glad to be here. We're able to share knowledge tonight and get to talk about our experiences and how we can support other parents that are looking to take on the next phase of their kids, next phase of their lives with their children and their beloveds.
Thank you. And thank you, Alanda, coming to us all the way from Dubuque, Iowa.
Yeah.
Yay. And I just want to acknowledge you and your family, your mate, all of your mates for allowing you the time to do this work this week. This can be a tremendous pool of energy. And you've been here a couple of times this week as well, Alanda. So maybe not 3 times, but I think you've been here twice, right?
It's my second night. Yep, with Ninii.
Yeah, with Ninii, right. So, just thank you so much for always being a yes in my life as my natural born niece who I babysat and changed diapers for when you were a baby.
Wow. Okay. Hey, well, she's changed my diaper.
Right. It's really an honor and a privilege to have you share this work with me and to actually use it in your own life and your own business and doing the amazing things that you do and to have all of us look inside of what's next, and you're making a difference in Iowa, and just knowing that you've taken on the teens there and really looking at we were going to look for another word for this, the biracial teens. What was another word? Because we distinguished that when we were growing up, we said mulatto, and that's not correct. So we really have to find out what's the term. Multicultural?
Multicultural, multiracial.
Okay. Yeah. So, just thank you for that. And I can see that we will make a huge difference in making life more enjoyable for them and their families as well through Master Force. So thank you for putting that in space. All right.
And thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be the niece of the creator of Master Force. I just want everybody to just throw that out there. I know her. That's my auntie. No.
Yeah, well, you all were my experiment. You were my guinea pigs. Yay! And then my co-host, my sidekick, my Iccha Devi. You want to come on in? I hope you're not moving your lips because you are muted. There we go.
There we go. Hey, you guys. Good to be here with you this evening. Shemsu-t, I really want to honor you for sharing this space with us here for Ignite Your Soul Connection 7.5. How awesome it is to be doing this work again. And for our New Earth children, this is going to make a really awesome difference. So glad to be here.
Thank you. And, you know, we were talking the other day, and I think we made note that, you know, it's not like we get 1,000 watches, or I don't know if we get 50 views, but we do know that we make a difference for one person every night. And that one person goes on to make a difference for their children and their household, and actually for themselves. And that one person was each one of you at one point, right? Mm-hmm. And you now go on to do humongous work in the community. So we're not looking at trying to be popular, be famous, and hit the masses. We really are inside of each one, reach one, and teach one. So Iccha, inside of that, I just want to acknowledge you for being someone who is just always there for the ride, and then can jump in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so you want to go ahead, or you want me to take? It's up to you.
Oh, please, by all means, go ahead.
Okay, so
and I'll be right here.
Yes, thank you. So we're actually looking at questions and concerns and comments that the audience had watching us over this past week. And we know that it was primarily parents and guardians that were asking questions. So we've asked Alanda and Ninii to kind of source these questions and give information to support them. And then Iccha and I will jump in where necessary, if ever necessary, right? Or sometimes we just have more than 2 cents to add, right? So, yeah, so let me see. Okay, I'm going to put on my spectacles here so I can magnify the screen. Okay. Now, the first question here is, where can parents find out more information about New Earth children? So, Ninii, you want to answer that? Where can parents find out more information regarding New Earth children?
You can Google is always going to be a great option. The Chicago Public Library is going to be a great option. Go find books that you can read up on, find websites you can read up on. We have also posted some things inside of Ignite Your Soul Connection. We have been posting a lot of resources. YouTube is another great resource. You can type in, you know, New Earth Children. You can type in Indigo, Crystal, Rainbow, Starseed, some of the things we've been talking about all week. Inside of YouTube, inside of Google, inside of a library search, inside of Amazon if you want to purchase the book, inside of YouTube. On our website, Ignite Your Soul Connection, the Massive Force website, you can go there. You can reach out to anyone that you've seen this week or in past years, coaches that we've been talking with. We've had Timothy on. He's astrology. Iccha Devi with the Destiny cards. Alanda with the dinner dates. Myself with the play dates. Shemsu-t the guru. So it's an abundance of resources on that topic of where you can, you know, begin to do your own research and get a good understanding of what New Earth children mean, what it is. And then if you have questions, you can reach out to a Master First coach and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think my oldest son had to be about 12 or 13 when I don't know if I ran across a book or something about indigo children. And at that time, so if he was in the 8th grade, he had actually decided that he did not care for his teacher because his teacher was racist. And we were living in the suburbs at the time. And so I started looking up, like, you know, where do you help children to deal with these kind of things? And that's when I ran across the term indigo. And I started doing more research on that. And then was years later. So I started raising him like an indigo. But it was years later that I found out that my person was an indigo. The reason that I'm saying that is that for some of you parents, you may be indigo or rainbow yourself. And so this may be the reason you feel a certain way about your job, about your mate, about your body, about the energy coming down, because most of those who are indigo, rainbow, and crystal, we're natural empaths. So we feel everything. And if we don't know how to source that energy, it could cause illness in the body. It could cause discomfort in the family. So it's important that you research this for yourself as well. Iccha, did you have anything to add to that at all?
I'm right there with what you've shared. And also, like you said, so that they can get present to all of what is available. Absolutely. Go ahead and Google it. Yes. Start doing your own research.
Do your own research. I agree. Okay. And then the next question kind of falls into that, Ninii. So I'm going to stay with you on this one. It says, is there a test that children can take to determine if they're indigo, crystal, rainbow, starseed? Is there a test?
So test is so left brain. So I know we do a lot of assessments, different type of assessments, different type of tools that we can use to just kind of assess where we are and who we are. So that's where the destiny cards come in. That's where the astrology come in. And then when you do the research, they'll give you like signs. If, you know, this happens, that happened, this happened, that happened, type of things. And you can kind of gauge if that's happened to you or you see it in your child, and kind of give you a spectrum of what some possibilities could be. But definitely like figuring out who you are, like doing the destiny cards, getting a destiny reading. It just has a great deal for the destiny reading for your whole family. Getting your astrology, and Timothy had a great reading for the parent and the child together to even see how your relationship is together, see who your child is and see who you are. The Myers-Briggs is a good one. There's a couple of different personality ones that you can access. I know Chinese astrology. It's so many. Which it's so many more that you could look out and figure out to know yourself. Different ones you can use, but those are some of the ones we use on a regular basis. The what's the one you do all the time? The reading you do, is it not shot tongue? What is it?
Which one?
The neuter.
The I Ching readings, not the
yes.
I Ching, yeah, the I Ching readings are good. And that takes a little bit more professional knowing, but we do have people that can do I Ching readings.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so doing those type of different assessments. There's another one I like too. It's called the Strength Finder. I like that one too. I've done that one before. Mm-hmm. Because it focuses on your strengths and abilities. You can kind of see like what you're stronger in. But I think like testing, I think if you go against the status quo, you probably fit in one of those categories. If you find that it's really hard for you to conform to the program, to the matrix of society, to the way things are done, if you find that you're questioning things or your child is questioning things and making you question things, they probably fit in one of these categories. If they have been labeled bipolar, ADHD, depressed, autistic. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You're probably in one of these categories. So just looking at that and just seeing like if you're having a hard time, like my son and myself, we had a hard time in school. My oldest actually did too, but hers was different because it was more inward. So they kind of like, because she's a girl, so they would have probably labeled her like ADD. Right. So she was more, she couldn't really focus, but she wasn't outwardly, bouncing off the walls. So it was just push on through. She melanated female. She not bouncing off, just push it through. So I didn't know as much as I know now, but she, when would fit a category. You know, she would have had fit a category. And so with my son, he was like, oh no, he needs to be on medication. And I was like, no, he don't. He needs some Bach essence and some tapping and some breathe work. We good. Like, no, I got oils for that. We good. So, you know, just if just that they kind of put your kids on medication, you need to do some research. You need to figure out what's really going on. If they say your son or daughter is autistic or depressed, or, you know, just having a really hard time fitting into this program because they're not a part of it. They busting right through it. So some kids seem to fit in a little bit better, but even then, like I said, my daughter fit in better, but in the long scheme of things, she really wasn't. Wow. She really wasn't, and she just kind of got pushed through. So just really paying attention to the kids and seeing how they navigate the program. If they're not really fitting in, you need to do some research.
That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Ninii. Okay, and then now let's go ahead to Alanda with this next question. And it says, how can parents support their children when the children do not want to be Christian? How can parents support their children when the children do not want to be Christians? Now that's a good one there, Alanda. What would you say to parents?
Ooh, well, what I would say, first of all, do not criminalize them or make them wrong for it. The children are coming from a place they question everything. And being that this is about New Earth children, they're going to question everything. And if you're looking to how to, I won't say cohabitate, or to support and nurture them, listen to them. Because your connection to you being, if you're a Christian right now and you are heavy in the church, your connection to how to support other children can be the answer in your child. Listen to them. Don't go running. Don't take your kid to the pastor. Don't take your child to an elder. Do not talk to your friends about it. You speak with them first, and just don't make them do something they don't want to do, because things happen. When you do that, when you force your child into something that they don't want to do, a string of events can happen to make you wake up to the fact that they didn't want to be there, and something can happen to them, or something can shift you in a way that I ain't gonna say it could have been avoided, but you're gonna learn a lesson if you don't support them, because you're gonna get it eventually. So how to support them? Listen. I know. I mean, I was in church. I had children that did not want to go. I did make them wrong for it. I had it like everybody get up and go to church with me, that kind of thing. And I saw how they would cut up in church. They would cut up. They would do things. I had a daughter, youngest, that she did praise dancing. And you know what she did? She didn't want to dance. You know what she did? She got in front of everybody in church and stood there and did not move. And I was horrified because I'm singing and it's not, and then I just had to just realize I can't make her do anything. And that's when I got it. I got it then. I can't make her do anything she didn't want to do. And I had to I actually felt myself in that. I had to put myself in that situation. Like, what if I didn't want to do something? What did I do? Oh, I remember. I'd act out. And that's what it is. So really listen to your kid that's all I can't stress that enough. Just have a dialogue, talk to them. If it's uncomfortable for you to talk to them, just listen. Don't talk to them, just listen. And just don't say anything. Just listen. If you don't have anything to say, just listen. Sometimes the kids just want you to listen, because something might be going on and they don't want to go to church and they're trying to tell you. They don't want to tell you, but then something may be happening and they don't want to tell you. So just listen. Just sit and listen. That's how I say how you support your kid. Listen.
That's so interesting, Alanda. I had a client that came to me when he was in his early 30s, and he had been struggling with his own identity for years. And come to find out, he had been molested by the pastor a very young age, you know, and he couldn't tell his parents, but he would run and hide, and the pastor would come to the house, and the parents would go and get him and bring him to the pastor.
Wow.
Yeah, because this was the pastor, and the parents, you know, didn't know, right, that this was going on, and the child didn't have a voice to tell them, and it was, you know, it was a man. And, you know, that's when I started doing more research into the molestation of men and how it was even just as more frequent as it was women. So you're very right to listen. You don't know. And a lot of times, because children see that their parents love the church and love the pastor and love the elders at the church, they don't feel that they can say anything against them. And they don't feel like they'll believe them anyway. Mm-hmm. So they'd rather just not do it. You know, they try to get away. So, yeah, you don't know what's going on unless you really stop and respect and honor the space of your child and listen to them. Very well said, Amanda. Very cool. Okay. So this next one says, what can we do as a family when my son will not eat meat? Either one of you want to take that. What can we do as a family when my son, and I guess daughter too, will not eat meat? Did either one of you all have that as an issue?
I haven't had that as an issue. I actually have a friend who told me her son, I think her oldest one, I can't remember which one, she had like 5 boys, but one of them did not want to eat meat. And she literally forced him to eat it. Like, you're gonna eat this chicken, like eat it. And that is so funny because she's a vegetarian now. So she's like, now I wish I would have paid attention when he was a baby, saying like he didn't want it. But honestly, no baby wants meat. We force all babies to eat meat. They don't naturally gravitate and say, I want this chicken. If you watch a baby eat it, they're like, they drop that, and they're actually grabbing a pineapple. They're grabbing peaches. Even when you feed them baby food, they gravitate towards the fruit. They don't gravitate towards the meat and the vegetables. So we force them to eat meat and vegetables. So for me, the simplest thing, if your son does not want to eat meat, don't make them. It's nothing that you know, that's what you can do, not force them to eat it. Like, if they don't want to eat it, don't make them eat it. Let them eat what they want to eat. If they want to eat, you know, just the vegetable or the fruit or whatever, just do that. And then learn from that. Start incorporating more into your own diet too, because we've been saying this all week. They're teaching us what's good for us. They coming in more woke than we ever were. They coming in like, nope, I don't want that. Give me the pineapple. Go on, keep that chicken. Even go on, keep that lettuce. Go on, give me the strawberries and the pineapple. Let me eat what I'm supposed to be eating. And we need to take heed. And even if we don't want to do it ourselves, if we're not ready to let go of that, don't force your kids to eat it. Don't force them to eat it.
Well, you know, we literally were programmed, our you know, my age group especially, right? We were programmed that all of your protein comes from where? Meat.
And it's not true.
And it's not true. And then we find out, you know, at 40, 50, that the whole pyramid is a lie. The food pyramid is a lie. You know,
it's false. And we don't even need protein. You can die from protein overdose more than you could from a lack of protein. Like, they don't.
Kidney disease. Yeah. Too much protein. Yeah.
Too much protein. And people ask me all the time, like, oh, you don't eat meat? How do you get your protein? And I'm like, the same way cows get it.
Because cows eat grass. Cows don't eat meat.
The same way the gorilla, who is one of the strongest animals on the planet, the same way he gets his protein. That's how I get it. Like, there's like a myth. And it's so programmed and indoctrinated into us that's literally, if you tell somebody you don't eat meat, the first thing they say, where do you get your protein from? Oh my God, how do you get your protein? You like, do you even know what protein is? It's amino acids. It's not even protein. You can get amino acids from all type of different places. Spinach and kale got more, you know, broccoli has more protein than a piece of beef. Like, stop.
Kiwi fruit has so much protein. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so many, like, you not gone. People think you're gonna perish if you don't have the meat protein, and it's just not true.
Yeah. That's very cool. And I think this is another question, Alanda. Let's let you answer this one. It says, how can I bring my family to eat less meat?
Well, you just cook less of it and make your food look, make your vegetarian food look a lot more appetizing. And when they eat all of their food, they want to eat your food. My husband listening to this, he knows now. No, how can you bring it to eat less meat? You make it fun. You can actually include your family, especially kids. Kids love, my children love to be in the kitchen with me. All of them know how to cook and bake right now, and they're all under the age of 18. Bring your kids into the kitchen and make something fun, because just like kids like to eat pizza, they like to eat tacos, burritos. You can make all of that without meat, make it just as tasty, and they would not miss it. We, just like Ninii said, we have been programmed that meat is necessary. I have to honestly say that I am one of those people that I'm transitioning, and couldn't even imagine not eating meat, but being that I love to cook. I find different ways, different textures. Spent a week with Iccha, and I just like, oh my goodness, you know how fun this is. So you can just make it fun. It is make food is a part of love. So to me, you make it so much more fun, so much more inviting, and they will not miss the meat, especially after I made, you make a really good vegan banana with coconut icing. They will love it. No, they will love it. So you make it appetizing, you make it appealing. Eat out less. That's how you can stop eating less meat too. Stop going out and eating processed food. Don't get a lean cuisine without meat. That's not eating less meat. You want to just go in and have an experience in the kitchen with your beloved.
Yeah, that's really good. I like to have Iccha's input on this too, because I know that she supports a lot of families who go off of meat. Iccha, what would you suggest too?
Absolutely, I would suggest that you add something first versus taking something away. So give yourself some healthy habit that you can have. Adding in more water, I think that would help a lot. As far as the meat and supporting people with eating less meat, oh man, what's a good way? Wow. That's a really good question. When it comes to that, I would say add more fresh things, fresh items. That would help too. Fresh fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fresh fruits and fresh fruit. I think that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, because fruit is so tasty by itself, individually, in a salad, in a wrap, anything. Fruit is so good on its own. Very cool.
Yeah. And get your fruit from organic places, because the fruit you get at a regular store don't have taste to it. Just want to throw that out there.
Yes.
Get some.
Yes,
go to a farmer's market.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, Landy. Take advantage of the farmer's market, especially here in Chicago, because we have them and we don't get to have them all year round. So when we have them summer and even fall, into the fall, I usually go take advantage of getting fresh farmers, fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do an experiment with the fruit. Go get regular fruit from your local grocery store that's not organic. Just get it out and then go to Trader Joe's or farmer's market and try it. Try the difference, and you will see. Don't believe us. Do it yourself. Research yourself.
Very cool. Okay, Ninii, here's one for you. Why doesn't EFT, emotional freedom technique, why doesn't that work on me?
Resistance. So, yeah. So I've had the battle of the bulge for many years. So I've tried a lot of different things. And one thing that I know for sure is that everything works. I don't care what gimmick it is. I don't care, you know, if it's a special pill or a special drink or whatever, right? And they really do work, but they only work if you work it. And EFT is the same way. If you have resistance to it, if it's something that you're not comfortable with and you're not even utilizing it, it's not gonna work. So if you're doing EFT and it's still not working, you have a blockage, you have some resistance to it. I know when I first started doing EFT, I was like, this don't make no sense. I'm up here, looking like a monkey, right? Like doing all this, right? Like, what am I doing right now? Now you can't stop me. I'm like, let's get it. Come on, let's go. I'm doing group EFT, singular, by myself in the middle of the night, waking up. Like I'm just a tapping fool. But when I first started, it was like, I don't know about this. Like, I look crazy. So I think anything that we do and we do it consistently and we believe that we're doing it for what we're doing it for, our intention and our focus is set and clear, it will work. If you have kiwis in your refrigerator and you don't eat them, they will not nourish your body. So you have to eat them. So it's the same thing with EFT. If you have the technology available to you, but you're not using it and you're not focused and intent and consistent, it won't work. You have to have your intent and your focus set and ready, and you have to just do it. You have to do it on a regular basis. It's not like I'm a tap of $7 million, but you blocked and every other day you talking about lack. You not gonna get $7 million. You have to really focus and be intent and get rid of those blocks. That's what EFT is for, to get rid of the resistance and the blocks. So that's what you're doing. You're tapping it. You're hitting these meridian points, and you're getting a blockage out. So I think first you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what is EFT. It's emotional freedom technique. It's helping you to emotionally be free so that spiritually and physically you can move in this world and attract the things that you want to attract to you without blockages. But if you don't understand that and you're hitting these meridian points, like, do you even know that's what you're doing? Like, you have to kind of, do your research and know what it is that you're intended to do, and be patient and be gentle with yourself. You already saying it's not working, you're not even being gentle with yourself. You got some type of judgment and resistance going on. So, be as patient, be gentle, and be consistent.
That is so perfect, Ninii. I love how you started that out. I didn't discover into maybe 15 years into my practice as a life coach that you can have clients resisting you the whole time, like the whole process. They do not want it to work simply because they do not want to acknowledge that someone has made a difference for them. So, it really is inside of the surrender to the process. Anything works. If I tell you, hey, drink this cup of water, it's going to make you lose 10 pounds. Do you know that if you believe that, it would work? It just would. This is literally how powerful our own minds are. Our mind, our belief systems are so strong that anything that we believe, it is effective. But it goes the same way on the opposite. If we are suspect, if we are doubtful, if we have any resistance, it's not going to work. I don't care how much you do it. Your resistance is in the way. Pure surrender is what makes things magical and what makes miracles happen. But it also creates havoc at the same time. So that was perfect, Ninii. Thank you. Okay, let's see. What is this next one? what is the difference between being spiritual and religious? Okay, Alanda, let's put you on this one since you had that last one with religion. What is the difference between being spiritual and religious?
Okay, so the difference between being spiritual and religious is basically it's a lot to do with you acknowledging who you are in this world. What's your purpose? Religion can actually help you in your spiritual path, but being religious keeps you in the ego type of thing. You're learning how to be people pleasers. You are learning with your peers, and you want to keep a certain appearance. So you take on this thing because it feels good. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it actually feels good because you may come into an acceptance. Spirituality, you have a lot of work, and you have to do it when everybody's gone, nobody's looking.
When the spirit hits
you. What are you when the spirit hits you, when you are actually by yourself, away from everybody that you usually are religious with, what are you truly doing? What is your path? What are you acknowledging in your life? What are you trying to create? And I won't say fix. I don't like saying the word fix, but what exactly are you doing to improve and enhance your purpose? Because I can say I used to be religious because that is what most Black families grew up in church. So we were taught to be indoctrinated in this fear-based fear-based way of life, that God sees everything you do. So you're scared to do anything else. So therefore you don't understand your true potential because you feel it, you're conflicted. So spirituality is when something don't sit right with you, you have this inner conflict. So that's what your spirituality is. Religion is just look right. You got to look right for everybody, regardless of what you think. It looks right. So that's my version of being spiritual and religious. Spirituality, you got to do some work, and you have to acknowledge it. And when you start feeling some conflict, that's your spirit talking to you, not the religion. Religion,
Yeah, that used to be really interesting to see. People go to church, every Sunday or Mother's Day or whatever, they go to church, but then they were so mean and hateful. I mean, that used to really be my biggest challenge growing up, because I love the story of Jesus Christ. I mean, I love Jesus Christ, still do, and was so committed to being just like Jesus. If I could just be just like Jesus, that was my whole thing. And then, I thought my family was into that too. And, of course, as soon as you start asking questions at that 12 and 13 year mark, right, you start asking questions and you find out, that it is all about show, looking good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody at church, who's dressing in what and who's doing what. And then you get older and find out, these people don't even love themselves, not to mention Jesus or it was just a lot. It was a
lot. And it's spirituality. You have to, you walk the walk and talk the talk. And it's not what somebody else is believing. This is who I am. I'm my true self. And that's what more spirituality is. This is who I am. This is how I show up. And I love, like you said, I love, the stories in the Bible. I love Jesus, and I love this listening to this story. So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that get away from what everybody else is doing and comparing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think church is good inside of practice, especially for families and for congregation. But when it comes to teaching truth, I really think that spirituality is more grounded in that. So they can kind of coexist, but true spirituality.
But you gotta know who you gotta know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to add really quick. Religion teaches you that God is outside of you, that it's an external being, and it takes the power outside of you. It's the power outside of you. Spirituality teaches you the power is inside of you. You learn how to tap into the God in you versus externally reliant on an external force. You know, you learn how to, well, I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna pray about it. God gonna fix it. God gonna fix it. Where spirituality is like, you know what? I gotta go in. I gotta go in because everything is outside of me. It's not right. Let me go in and connect to God and see what's going on and get myself right. So I think like the religion in church teaches you an external force, where spirituality lets you tap into your inside self, like Alanda was saying, like know yourself.
Yeah, that's really powerful. It's really important now because children, teenagers are moving away from church, but yet and still they don't have a grounding in what it looks like to be grounded spiritual. I think that they have the connection and the tie to it, but again, this is why they congregate together. You know, because they have their own group. Can you see that? That they kind of group, they have their own so-called church family without going to church.
Well, that's kind of what the games are. I mean, that's, you know, I had an observation with that today. You know, it's an acceptance, and that's what a lot of religion had become. Even when I was growing up, you feel lost. You hit a point in your life, you just feel lost, right? And you don't have, there's no answers anywhere. So what you do, you go to the building to where you can like feel there, and it becomes emotional, and you still haven't really did the work because, you know, I remember you gave me a book years ago, Power of Your Subconscious Mind. You actually showed me, we used to go to fellowship, and that was the first time I ever saw something like that. I thought it was kind of strange, but that was a spiritual connection for me. You showed me how to go.
Were we in Iowa at the time?
Yes, we was in Sioux City. Yep, we was in Sioux City. And you showed me what it was like to go in, what it was like to worship. I'd never seen that before in my life. I thought it was weird, but it was a different type of connection. It was a more of a connection at that time. It was still outside of yourself, but you felt a connection. So the kids now, the church has gone, to me, beyond the connection. It's all about, like you said, the show. So kids are congregating and gathering themselves, and they have their own type of church. You know, so yeah, it could be spiritual, but
I actually started a book years ago called Generating Another Nurturing Group. And it was about looking at gangs being a spiritual connection for young men and young women who did not have strong family ties at home. And I still believe that too. It's just that we've been taught to criminalize those young people, and we don't make a safe place for them to meet. You know, they need a place to congregate. But yeah, I think I'll go back to that, generating another nurturing group, because young people, they need each other just as much as they need their parents, because everybody does not have a loving home.
That's
and
true.
They still need to have a place where they feel loved, where they feel accepted, and where they feel safe. And especially the new earth children, and they will find that for themselves, but it does not make them criminals. Right? Okay. Iccha, did you have something on that? I see you. Did you wave your hand, or what did you come on?
I'm really I'm sitting humbly and listening to what you all are sharing. It's very touching. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, and this next question flows right into that. You know, I think people listening this week really were put into a sense of soul searching, because a lot of our questions seem to be internal. Ninii, like you're saying, they're going in, Alanda, they're looking inside. right? And this question is, how are meditation and prayer different? I mean, what a great question. That's an awesome question. Either one of you, how are prayer and meditation different or the same?
To me, traditionally, we were taught that they were different. One thing I can say in the last church experience I had, meditation is a form of prayer. Your thoughts are prayer. Your thoughts can become a prayer. And when you sit and you meditate, you are going in. You're going in. You're clearing your space so you can hear an answer. So if you can meditate, prayer is putting in a request. So you can meditate before you put in a request to ask or pray, to do a prayer of any type, whatever you're praying for. But meditation is more intentional, to set the intentions for your prayer. That's, to me, they're not really different, but they actually can go together. Meditation is the precursor to prayer. That's how I look at it.
I can hear that.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, I agree with Landy 100%. I feel like meditation and prayer are conversation. So meditation is when you listen and you get the downloads from your higher power. And prayer is when you're talking to your higher power. So you have to do both. You have to both talk and you have to listen to have an effective conversation. So sometimes you have to sit still and be quiet. So we've been just taught to talk. We just taught to just ask, just pray about it. But then we so busy praying, and then we get through praying, and we talking to our friends about it. We ain't heard nothing. We ain't got no downloads. We ain't heard nothing. And then we be talking about, well, Lord, I don't know why you answer my prayers. And the Lord, like, girl, I've been trying. You too busy talking. Shut up for a minute. So the meditation is us sitting down and listening. It's getting connected and listening and getting those downloads to come down and getting our answers or getting our communication, whether we like the answer or not. But it's sitting still. It's being still so that we can hear with all of our eyes, with our ears, and with our third eye. And then praying is sending the message up. Whatever you say, God, Allah, Buddha, I don't know. But whatever you say, I need help with X, Y, and Z. You put it out there, and then you sit still so that you can hear the help come and say, okay, I need you to move this way or that way. Or I don't need you to do anything. I got this. Just go on about your day. Whatever communication may be, but sitting still so that you can hear it. So that's what I think, you need both. And I think that we've just been taught, again, left brain, we're taught just one-sided, just talk. But we have to use both. We have to use left and right. We have to talk. We also have to listen. That's what they say. I gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Well, and look, further down on the list is pertinent to this question. It says, I was told that meditation is a sin and of the devil. What has changed?
Nothing has changed. It's still the devil. No. So it's not the devil. I'm just making fun. But what we have been taught and what we have been programmed and indoctrinated is fear-based. If I let you know how powerful you are and give you all the tools to know thyself, I cannot control you. If you know how powerful you are, if you know that you could sit and meditate and figure things out from yourself without an outsourced external entity, then I won't be able to control you. So we have to really, dig deeper and go with our gut feeling. I think we've been so programmed that we'll feel something and know that it's not right, but because of our programming, we'll go against ourselves. Mm-hmm. I've had people tell me they're talking about like dreams that they have or something. I'm like, oh girl, you psychic. And they like, oh my God, that's the devil work. I'm not psychic. Oh my God, no. And I'm like, you just told me a whole dream where you done had you done came and visited me and had a conversation with me and all this stuff, but I call you psychic. Now you putting up your cross at me. But we have been really trained and programmed to even go against our own selves. So if I can control you with fear, and I can keep you in your left brain and keep you fearful and keep you just, programmed, then yeah, it's gonna be of the devil. You always think that. There's a lot of people I know, like my friend came over my home, and I have like altars, and I have a card, different energy reading cards and stuff. And she's like, oh my God, my mom is a Jehovah's Witness. She would not even be able to set foot in your house. She would freak out. And I'm like, really? What would she say? Like, why? She was, oh, it's witchcraft. It's the devil. And I'm like, well, I am a witch, and it's okay. Like, I thought, well, she would love me too. It's okay. We've been taught, like, we have to really tap inside of ourselves. We have to know how powerful we are. We have to know there is no way that they would sacrifice melanated women, what they call witches, the way they did. And I just know, like, from my mom is a healer. And I didn't know until I got older, but I heard myself, she was like, girl, break off that aloe plant, rubbing that gel on me, and all type of stuff. And I was like, okay, now I go play, right? But in Salem, she would have been a witch, because she knew how to break off the plant and heal me real quick and send me on my way. We have to really look at the whole picture. We have to really tap into that right brain. So the left brain got the parts or whatever. So we have to look at that right brain. We got to look at the whole picture and the power that we have within ourselves. So yeah, if you are programmed, you are scared of yourself, because that's what they made you scared of. It's not external. They made us scared of ourselves. If you are scared of yourself, then yes, everything that we're saying, we're telling you to tap, we're telling you to do this, look like a monkey, we're telling you to go get aloe vera plants, break them off, rub them on the babies, we're telling you to breathe placenta. All of this, right? We're going to drink hot water in the morning with some lemon. Yeah, all that sound like witchcraft. All that sound like, yeah, no, I don't want to do none of that. And it's okay. It's really okay. You've been taught to be fearful of yourself. But once you tap into doing your own research and tap into the love of yourself, it's just going to be natural. It's going to be so natural. You'll be like, oh, the baby floating over there. Oh, okay. The baby going and floating, levitating. It's going to be all good. We're going to let the baby levitate. It's all good. Is
such a perfect answer. Landy, what were you going to add to that?
So basically we have, and I totally agree with Ninii about, we've been conditioned into this way of thinking. If you look at your grandmama and your great grandma and the practices they used to have, they used to do all that. Put the keys down your back when your nose bleed. It's the same thing. What we have been taught, that then all these different sectors, when they broke off into the Pentecostal and all that, they tried to indoctrinate of fear, because it wasn't working. We still have methods of things we're doing, and meditation is not a sin. If you look in the Bible, it's in there. Meditation is in there. Dreaming is in there. So people have to go back to what we said in the beginning, what Ninii said, research, look it up. Practices have been taken and distributed, and they're using it. If you look at the very people that created religion and their descendants, they're using the very thing that was taken from us and the indigenous people here and other places. They are taken. If you look at the Bible, it is full of pagan practices, and it's okay. So meditation isn't a sin. Sin is what? And if you have a concordance, people that are in church, you should know what a concordance is. Sin is missing the mark. If meditation is teaching you to sit inside and to focus on what you want, that is not a sin. You're not missing the mark. You're sitting to get a connection to get the download. So yeah, so research that.
It's so interesting because just recently science have proven that intuition is itself one of the highest forms of intelligence. However, intuition is considered a female aspect. So because we have spent how many years suppressing feminine energy on this planet, no wonder they would not want to acknowledge intuition. So a lot of the energy that you see our New Earth children having is a strong sense of intuition. They follow their intuition. They listen for it. They can sense, they get a gut feeling. But if we make them not trust it, and especially with all of these electronics, you know, like you're saying, Ninii, that left side is always being tuned in by the electronics. How do we teach them to listen to themselves and get that gut? You know, and this is every time, if we listen to our intuition, it would tell us when we are in danger. Then why are you walking down the street with a phone at your ear? You have to be listening for your own divine protection. And we have to teach this to our children. We have to remember this for ourselves. So that's powerful. I love what you all are saying, you know. I mean, you know, they didn't call us witches, bitches, hitches. I mean, come on. What? It ain't no thing. But we do have to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, go back to what your grandma. My grandma used to always say, your first man is always the right man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got to think too long, you're thinking wrong. So it's all that old stuff that we used to we just dismiss. It's always been there. We just been taught to disconnect from it. We disconnected from ourselves, and our children has brought it back for us to tap back into what our grandmamas and some of our kids are our grandmamas.
Yeah, they coming back around. They coming back in here to remind us. That's right. Yeah, they tell. Absolutely. I like that, because how many times do people say, I should have followed my first mind? Well, yes, you should have. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very good. Each of you having any notions on that?
What you're saying is true.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. It's so very true. Now, here is one. It says, what family rituals can households create to make a difference in their spiritual growth? What family rituals? So what family rituals do you do or have you practiced that have enhanced the spiritual growth in your own household?
Well, it was for me.
Either one.
Anybody?
Okay, Alanda, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm back to cooking, because to me, where you sleep is a ritual. Like I said, spent time with Iccha. I love you, Iccha. And she brought a lot of things back to my remembrance, because I used to do it with my kids. Children love to do what you're doing. So the rituals, you can do anything from cooking to cleaning. Now, traditionally, kids don't like cleaning up. I used to be one of them. But when a story that Iccha told me about how, she used to like washing dishes, and it was we all grew up wanting to clean and do things, but what was that thing they tell you? When you're ready to do it, you ain't gonna want to. And so instead of just allowing the kid, even though I had to go behind the kid and wash the dishes again, they want to feel like they're part of something. So when you get up, and you want to, before you get out and you do some yoga, say everybody's doing yoga together, or you're meditating together, create something that we all can get up and do together. That's pretty much, if you have little ones, you can do that. Teenagers, it may be a little challenge. You may have to maybe see what they like doing and kind of meet you halfway. You all kind of like compromise, because teenagers don't really want to do what you're doing. So you kind of have to see what they're doing and maybe create a ritual around that. I have teenagers that live with their dad, and they play sports. That is a ritual. So going out with them to the games and going with them as they go to practice and helping them. I grew up like that. I went to the track every night when my father came home. We used to go to the track, and we ran track every night. in the summertime. So that was a ritual. I looked forward to that because it was fun. So there's a lot of different ways of doing it. Something that if the kids showing an interest at a young age, by all means, create something, play, coloring, sit and color. Your sister, we used to go to her house, couldn't wait to go to her house. You know what she used to do? Bring out the crayons and a coloring book, and everybody would sit around that table and color. We wouldn't go watch TV. When it was time to go watch Good Times, we'll stop and go watch Good Times and come back and finish coloring. So just create something that everybody want to feel included in, and then take turns.
Yeah, that's great. What about you, Ninii? Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, ladies, of course, was spot on. I was gonna say, listening to your kids again. My daughter, my oldest now, she's 20. When she was about maybe between 6 and 8, I can't really remember. She was younger. I didn't have a table, and she came home and she was like, "Mom, we need to have family dinner every night." And I was like, "What? Like, girl?" But I literally went and bought a table. I'm like, "Well, let me get a table then." So I went and bought a table and chairs and everything, and then we started having family dinners. And so we still do that. We still eat together. And now she's not home, but she's created family night. And so she's like, "Mom, we got family night. You gotta cook." And we come over, the kids come. With her and her sister's 18, so they don't really food with us all the time. But they, here, and then we'll eat together. We'll watch a movie or whatever. We'll do it when my husband's off, so he's home, and it's cool. So just listen, kind of seeing like what they want to do sometimes, and then always leaving the door open, like leaving the invitation open, especially when they get older. When they're younger, they kind of want to still hang with you. They still want to be with you anyway. So like whatever you want to do, they'll be happy to just, be in your presence. Like Alanda was saying, like coloring, or I bought bubbles because when we was over Iccha house, y'all, we love Iccha, right? I was over Iccha house, and she had bubbles, and she told my son, like, we're sending out love, and this is for the fairies. And he was like, "Oh, mommy, we sending out love," and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. So when I saw a pack of the bubble wands, I grabbed it. So now he's like going outside, and he's like, "Mom, I'm gonna send out some love." And so then I ended up telling my older girls too. So they even like saying like, "Oh, this is for the fairies. Go out here and blow the bubbles real quick." So it's like really simple stuff, but when you put love and intent and focus behind it, like it just becomes a beautiful thing. So now my girls 20 and 18 out here blowing bubbles with me and my son, because we're sending out love signals, right?
Girl, we still love bubbles. We love bubbles. Bubbles, I'm telling you, you gotta keep some bubbles around. You gotta keep bubbles on hand. I don't care how old you get.
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
The chalk for the ground. Oh, yeah. So just
keep bubbles in the bedroom.
I'm gonna be blowing bubbles. It's a new moon. Oh, so that's what I was gonna say. So doing those type of things to like bring closeness and family together, but also starting your own ritual. So like literally going to church every Sunday is a ritual. The things that go on inside the church, even the praying, the first Sundays and the communion, all that, those are rituals. So creating your own ritual. So like tonight is a new moon, and so tonight is set your intention night. So this is when you get your journal out, you write down your goals that you want to accomplish. You light a candle, or some incense, have some oils. I diffuse my oils. I have incense. I do all of that. And so my kids also know, like my daughter be like, it's new moon, like 20-year-old. She's kind of witchy too. She's like, "It's new moon, Mom. You gotta have a celebration." So we'll do like new moon, I have them out. Even if I just say, set your goals tonight. It's the new moon. So, finding your own rituals and, putting them into practice. It could be something super simple. It could be something super elaborate. It's just really what you make it.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. It reminded me when I was homeschooling my youngest, and when Alanda was talking about how young people don't like to clean up, I literally created a ritual called the Young Ninja. So we would put on our ninja outfits, and he literally had the whole, and I just put on something and tied a thing around it. And so as a ninja, everything that we did, we had to make sure that no one saw we were there. So, I would teach him, when you go in the bathroom, you have to make sure that you turn around and make sure there's no sign of you there. If you peed on the sink or peed on the toilet, you have to wipe it up, If you washed your hands, you have to make sure there's no water left on the sink, I mean, just little different things. And I ended up creating a series called Mommy Teaches the Young Ninja. I mean, I got to go find that because it was so cute. And that's when we brought out the bubbles, because the bubbles were used inside of teaching him how to meditate at 3 and 4 years old. Teaching him to calm the bubbles in his stomach with other bubbles. So, making it fun. Rituals are just, like Ninii said, just what we do as a habit, but we're putting our spiritual intention to it. So, yeah, that's really, really good. Okay. And now let's go ahead with you, Ninii, on this next one. It says, how do I learn the Marv technique? And that's just all they're saying, Ninii. How do I learn the Marv technique? So maybe just say what the Marv technique is. I'm not sure if they're asking about a course. So
that's what I was going to say. Take the MFC coaching course. That's the best way to learn it. But I'll definitely go through it really quickly right now. The Marv is one of my favorites. I've done videos on this. Iccha's done videos. Lanny's probably done video. We all done videos on Marv. This is part of our core curriculum, our mobile curriculum that we teach to our clients and to our families and, everything. So Marv it's a way to create your life, create and manifest what it is you want to see in your life. So M stands for meditation. So meditation is what we was already talking about earlier, where you sit still and you listen and you get your downloads. The A is for affirmation. Affirmation, that you want to affirm what it is. You want to speak positively. This is what our beloved Iccha Devi would say, watch your mouth. Okay, you create spells with your mouth. So you want to affirm what it is. You want to speak positive. You want to affirm it. Then you have the relaxation. I think this is like probably the hardest step, because we are not taught to relax in this society. In this matrix is go, 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 do, fix, make, take, right? So you have to relax. It's all about worrying. And so this is like total opposite of that. You have to relax inside of, once you've meditated and affirmed, now you just have to relax. And then you have the visualization. The V, which is visualization. So once you relax, see that thing as you want it to be. You have to put it in your third eye. You have to, it's your projection screen. You have to see yourself doing it. So if your intent is to create a new body, create a new avatar, that seems to be a big one for a lot of people. So you want to create a new body. You have to first meditate on it, then affirm that you're healthy, you're slim, and you're beautiful. And then you have to relax in knowing that you're all those things. And then you have to see that body. You have to literally see your body, see what clothes you're wearing, see what you're doing, how you're moving different, how you're talking different. And then you keep doing that, and then you have a new body. You'll look up, and I'm proof of that, because I'm 62 pounds lighter. Iccha Devi also has, seen Marv in action when it comes to the avatar. She created a whole class about avatar, the avatar maintenance program, which I was taking that too. But you start to see it. You start to see, and you see how it manifests. So when you do the work, you'll see it. But Marv is a great technique that we teach inside of the MFC course.
Yeah, I was going to say that we actually have created a smaller version of the coaching certification course, and it's the Master Force Life course. So it's a 13-week course that people can take, and they actually get everything except for creating the coaching practice. So they get all of the, all of the different methodologies that we talk about. They just don't get the pieces that develop them into coaches, and they don't get a certification. And they can actually find out more information about that on themasterforce.com. And they can learn the MARV technique and MEPS and everything through that course. It's called the Master Force Life course. So we'll be doing more marketing around that in the fall. Very cool. And Landy, did you or Iccha have anything to add to that?
Go ahead, Iccha.
Wow. Just gratitude for the life course.
I know, right?
Yeah, Ninii said it all pretty much. And also, yeah, we have been a society that's been learned. I told you the other night how if you were laying down in the middle of the day, how you had to, you couldn't take a nap, so the MARV technique is actually amazing. That is one of what we do is all in one, and I think it's beneficial for anybody to take the life course when we actually have it available again. And definitely see the kids, everybody's sitting around doing it like Ninii said with the rituals. You can definitely do the MARV which in a ritual with the family.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so both of you can answer this question. How can I get my husband to be more spiritual? Whoop.
Whew. Ninii, you want to answer that?
Really, Landy?
I can say, well, I will say this because it took a lot for me to be where I am right now. The visit, we're going to keep plugging Iccha because I'm just sending love to her right now, because when we were in her space, that's all she really did with us. She loved us and gave us so much information. Just patient, and she just,
poured into
so
poured into you and
yes, she did. She did pour. She did pour into me, and that's why I have to acknowledge her right now for that. And it actually made me come back to, come back here and see him in a different way, because I am like this. I was married 17 years, and as far as the church was concerned, he wasn't, spiritual. He wasn't, saved. That's what they called it. Not spiritual. So dealing with that, and he was adamant from the beginning that he was agnostic or whatever. So I was praying for him to change. And this is pretty much almost the same conversation. Listening to what to your mate, when he starts seeing, to me, people in your house or around you, they start gravitating toward you in your practice. Because sometimes people are cynical. And they don't, they're not too sure about what, all this stuff we're talking about, right? And when they're new to it, especially if it's a mate, in my experience, allowing them to be who they are, and they're going to show up. My part is being still who I am, practicing what I practice, and just having a listening for him. I'm not trying to change him. I'm not trying to change him. I love him the way he is. Him being more, how can I put it, being more spiritual is his own, path. And I can just love him. I can love him where he is. And him being more spiritual, you can't get anybody to be more spiritual. They have to want to do it themselves. Just like with the kids, trying to get them to go to church. You just can't do it. They have to be moved themselves. You know, we have, you know, just like we have a higher creator, God that we listen to, they have to do the same thing. We can't get them over it. Only thing we can do is just love them in the space they're in and hold a space for them until they get it. Because, hey, like I said, I'm a converted Christian. You know, I say Christian, I mean religious Republican. I used to be under politics, so I'm converted a lot. So I thank goodness for people to held spaces for me. You know, the MFC coaches, first Iccha being my mentor, she helped me out of a lot, you know, helped me and poured into me, and especially Moot, you know. So you all held a space for me, and just pretty much what I would say. If you are on a spiritual path and your beloved isn't, hold a space for them, because somebody was patient with you.
Mm-hmm. Very good. What would you add to that, Ninii?
I definitely holding the space, I think, and knowing like you can't make anybody be spiritual. And realizing partnership, like you guys are on a spiritual partnership together. If you have a mate, you're here to do the work together. You've chosen this mate to do the work together, and you will meet with some resistance, you know. My husband at one time was like, "Girl, what do you believe in?" I was like, "What? Why would you ask me that?" He was like, "I don't know what's going on no more. Like I don't know what you're doing." So I think just, you know, holding a space, definitely. Remember that you're in a partnership. So don't cut them off. I think that was one of the things that I just learned recently in my own journey with my husband, is to not cut them off just because you're on your journey. Like, well, I gotta learn everything I need to learn about me, and I'm just gone. And then your husband or your wife, if you're the man, is like here, and then you just go ahead on that you way over here somewhere, and he's like, wait, you're not holding the space for me, but we're not even in partnership no more. So you have to remember that you are, you know, holding the space for them, and remember that this is your partner, and you still love them where they are. And you give them information just like you would do anybody else. They take it and run with it, or they think you're crazy, and it's okay either way. But you just, you know, get it out there. My husband actually took the MFC course, but it was a while after I had took it, and he was like my hardest student, because even when he took the course, I had to, like, this is my whole mate, right? Like I had to have a whole meeting with him. Like we had to sit down, like I did not know him, and go through the course, what it was about, what he was going to be learning, the cost, everything, like, because he had to pay. So it was, you know, it was interesting. And then he did it. He was like, okay, I'll do it. And so he, you know, he did it. He stuck with it. He did it. He learned a lot. He learned a lot throughout the course. And, you know, it was just good. But I think you just have to remember, like, to hold the space. Remember that you're in partnership. You have to remember it. And sometimes it could be a little hard to remember that when you learn about yourself, because you start shifting and you do start changing. Once you start realizing, you know, who you are and being more of who you are, you do kind of shift and change it. So you have to remember to hold that space for your mate and being patient with them, and you're shifting, because some things that I do now, I didn't do 15 years ago. So I don't wear deodorant no more. I lock my hair. I don't use toothpaste. So it's like, wait, I need to crash. What a secret. Like, what are you doing? I don't eat meat anymore. So it's like, whoa, what are you doing, lady? So even like being patient with your shifting, with them kind of like getting in tune and getting used to your new frequency. Because it's just like if you change the radio station, if you listen to 107.5 all day, and that's like hip hop or whatever like that, like boom, 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 and then you switch to V103 and it's more soulful and more quiet, you have to adjust to that. You have to adjust your mental. So you have to be patient with them, even in your shifting. Remember that you're in partnership, and just hold the space for them.
Yeah. that you guys are just so amazing. I just love the openness and the willingness that you have for your mates, because that truly is the difference. You know, our mates, they have a spirit. I mean, they don't have to be spiritual. As long as they are breathing, you know, you're tuning in to their spirit. You know, and one of the ways to connect to their spirit is through your own breath, through your kundalini, through your sexual expression. I mean, literally, you can talk to your mate's higher self through your spirit and through their spirit. I mean, when you have a mate and you have had any kind of intimacy, you literally are connected through the ethers. So they can feel when you judge them and assassinate their character and dismiss them and disconnect. They can feel that. So, you know, to literally keep them, I love what you said too, like holding the space, but also remembering that when you're on your path, on your journey, to include them, even if they're not walking with you, because they can feel when you're not there. They can feel it, but they can also feel when you are there. So, you know, all of us want to remember the sacredness of our relationships. You know, they're sacred. They are to be protected. Nothing is to get in the way of them. I don't care how much we're learning. The reason that our mates show up is for our spiritual enhancement. We literally made an agreement. I mean, I think who was talking about that earlier this week? You know, your soul's path. You know, we agreed to come and hook up and find each other and remember to do this work together. And it doesn't have to look a certain way, you know, but it is to be open to that. So you guys have given a great explanation of it, you know, and it does take something. And so I do want to acknowledge you guys for what it takes to hang in there. Really, it's in this day and age, a lot of people are stuck in the root chakra because so much has been opened at the root chakra. There's so much sexual expression that people don't know that relationships are about the heart. They're not about the sex. And so not every relationship is moving into the heart. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to acknowledge Iccha Devi real quick. Alanda already has said it, but we had Iccha Devi hosted a wise circle. Not that long, a couple weeks ago. She hosted a wise circle, and we was wilding out. We was wilding out. The wild was we was all out of sorts, right? And Iccha Devi held the space for us, nurtured us. Gave it to us straight, like, yeah, no, this ain't that. Held us accountable, and I can really say, like, I appreciate that. And if you are looking to make your husband more spiritual, you don't have spiritual accountability partners. So you also need to do that. You need to get you a spiritual accountability partner who's gonna say, hey, no, it's not even about him, honey. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to make him more spiritual, that means you need to be more spiritual. You're not in tune. And get you right together.
Yeah. Because trying to make anybody do anything is not about them. That's a control thing.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. I went to church with some people, wives that spent a lot of time in church, and they had husbands. And I can say I used to be one of them, but it was there. It was a little, I won't say it was different, but it was an experience. And when I started seeing about how I was neglecting the home, I got myself right together. It wasn't, I won't say it had nothing to do with him, but I heard his request. But I've also heard of people divorcing, or the man cheating on the wife that always spent time at church, because you coming home from church and you're talking about what the pastor said, and you have, your husband there, he's not in that church. That kind of makes him feel a certain kind of way. So it's the same context. So if you are listening and you are going to church, it's the same thing. Just like what Moot just said, your spouses can feel when you are not connected with them. So even if you're going to church and he doesn't go, you know, once again, I'm going back to some of the Bible that you all use. So if you're going to still use the Bible, there is a scripture in there to say that you stand in the gap for your mate. Therefore, you're holding the space for him. So you do definitely just want to, if you really love your mate, or your husband or wife, you want to keep that space for them. You the one that have to, you got to control yourself. You know, you only responsible for yourself. You all seen that little video with the little girl. You worried about yourself. So
very, very cool. And I know we're getting towards the end of the hour. We have one more question I want to make sure, and either one or both of you can answer this. It has some length to it, but it says, what happens if you are an indigo or crystal child and you have children or become guardian to children who are not consciously aware or enlightened New Earth children? And then the second part, how do you be the best guardian or parent you can be if they are not open?
I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
So we have to remember, I had to remember this too, that our children are a part of the program, and we are the programmers. And so if they're not open, then they've already been programmed, or they're already, you know, I don't know what age they are, but they're probably older if they resistant. Little ones, they're not as resistant. So they're probably a little older, but they've been programmed already. They're part of the matrix. And so we have to be patient with them, because we were once a part of the matrix too. Even with my own kids, my oldest girls are like, go ahead on with this sunflower stuff, you doing that. Like, you know, we used to eat chicken and all and fried food, like go ahead on that. Whereas my little one, he a little bit more open, but he's programmed too, to a sense. Like, he's like, well, give me the chicken, give me the, you know, bread. So because I programmed them to do that. So now I'm doing something different and I'm teaching them something different, but I have to be patient with them and meet them where they are. So not to judge them, not to, you know, be spiteful or mean to them, but to love them and to nurture them and just say, hey, you know, this is something different. I send them videos, I send them articles and say, you know, oh, I saw this about, you know, hair weave. Oh, I saw this about, you know, cow. I sent them a whole the Cowspiracy. I don't know if even know if they watched it, but I sent it. Right. So I think we just have to be patient and be loving. And you'll find that when you do that, instead of judging and being harsh, that they'll start asking you questions, or they'll start doing some of the things that you're doing, because we lead them by example. We're doing that mirror work. We're mirroring greatness. So like my daughter was over here and she was like, Mom, you got some lavender? And I was like, of course I got lavender, right? I don't even know what she needed for. She was doing something, I don't know, but I'm like, go on, look in the oils, just, you know, with the oils or whatever. So Italian had a scar. He said, Mama, what that stuff you made for my, I hurt, you know, I hurt some little boy head butted him or something. So he like, Mom, where is this stuff you made for me? And so he went in the refrigerator, because it's like aloe vera, coconut oils. He went in the refrigerator and he rubbed it on. So you'll find like that they're watching, they're woke, they're not asleep, they're programmed, but we help program them. And so once you realize that you're part of the process and you're one of the programmers, then, you know, forgive yourself, love yourself, and then be patient and loving with them. And then you have to show them something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. back in to continue with what Ninii just said, it is very important to be compassionate for them, because these are, I believe, every child born after like in the millennial, I believe all of them are in that, they're all of New Earth children. And they're them not wanting to be a part or being awakened to you being a indigo or rainbow child. Or, you know, they see it, they don't want to be part of that, because right now they don't want to do that. That's who they are. And being that they are one of the New Earth children themselves, they are going, then they're not to the point that they don't believe it, or they're not awakened to it. They may be going about it another way. Just like Ninii said, a program. They just, and back to what we're talking about with getting our mates to be more spiritual. They have to find their own, they have to get on the path, and being a parent, a guardian, all you can do is just, once again, hold the space for them. You be the best guardian and parent by not condemning them. Have compassion for them. If they want to eat meat, just let them eat meat. Because anybody that was born before 1990 are really good at being passive aggressive, to make people conform. So there's a lot of unlearned behaviors we have to take on, and we have to learn how to get out of that, because we were programmed to do that, and it doesn't work. So being that these children, that you're an indigo or crystal child, and you have these children, they possibly are too. It's not that they're not awakened or enlightened. I won't say they're not. I just say by them being children, they going about it a different way, because they see what this is about, and change is scary. That's how I see it. Change is very scary, and when they see that they can be open to all of this, they're taking it slow. So I believe they're fully aware. They're not sure if they want to, they being very cautious with it. And if they have other peers and things like that kind of don't get into that, or if these are like a co-parenting situation, you're going to have a parent outside the house that's totally against what you're trying to put in that house, or wherever the background they come from. So it's going to be a situation that they got to see you who you are at all times, not trying to change them, not trying to force them. You just hold a space for them, and just let them, allow them, like Ninii said, they'll come to you. Light attracts light. They're going to lights. We all attract, we attracted to certain things. And so they're learning. They know, they see it.
Yeah, that's really good. And I think the thing that you're saying that's really there for me is just to hold the space of compassion and love for them, and not need them to be anything. I remember one of my mentees told me, they said, we don't like labels. I don't want to be an indigo. I don't want to be a rainbow or crystal. I don't like labels. So, I'm just myself, is what he said. But he does recognize that he's an indigo, right? But you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm not into that label stuff. So he just wanted to be himself, and his whole crew is like that. They're just all these wonderful, artistic young men and women, and every now and then they'll call and say, hey, I need a meditation for da 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 da. I just send it to them, so they know what we're into, right? Like you're saying, Landy, they're watching, they're looking, but we cannot expect them to do what we think they should do. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and just hold the space for them. And a lot of times I just step into their world. I remember doing that with my children. Just, what are they doing? I would just show up in their world. What are they up to? Hey, what are you all up to? And sometimes I would ask, is it all right if I come and watch that? And sometimes they say no. I wouldn't take it personal. And then if I go, I wouldn't try to hang out. I just go, oh, thanks for the invite. And then sometimes they say, well, come on, go with us to eat. I love when they include me, and when they don't, I'm cool. So Yeah, those are great. Really great.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. That was my list. Each of you over there awful quiet. You taking it all in. You got anything to add to it? I just want to look at anything.
I'm just taking it all in, and yeah, just really being present to what's being shared.
Oh, here's one. My child spends a lot of time on his iPad. How can I change this?
You cannot. No, these kids in technology is totally different. They use it a lot. So I wouldn't say change it so much as finding something else for them to do. See, what else they, like to do. My son and my nephew are here, and we're not here right now, but they've been here like all week since school got out. My nephew's been over here, and they have been on that computer. So they literally have the laptop, the tablet, and the desktop, and it's all in the same room. They're both on there doing all of they playing games or whatever they're doing, right? I don't know. But I said, I didn't say get off of it or anything like that. I said, hey, it's nice outside. What do you guys want to do outside today? They was like, oh, we want to go swimming. Cool. Let's do that. Let's go swimming. So they went to the pool, and had some fun outside for a little while. So I think, and they've been outside blowing bubbles and stuff too. So I think just giving them options to kind of get away from it, not so much as saying like, taking it away per se. Like, don't make it like it's a punishment. Like, oh, you can't, give me this iPad type of thing. But find out what else they like to do, because they like to do other things besides the computer. They love the technology, right? They love it. We are on it right now. We love technology.
We love what it can do.
We love what it can do. So I don't think changing it. I think just finding like what they're interested in, and then saying, hey, let's go do that. And even saying, like you was just saying, like, can I hang out with y'all? Can I play the game on the computer with y'all? Because I ain't asking that question. They had too much going on. I'll be confused. but that is, you could say, hey, can I watch you guys play? Because that could even be fascinating, watching them do all the things that they're doing. Can we read a book together? Like, what, just if it's something that you would like to see them do more of, instead of, like I think Iccha said it earlier, instead of taking away, let's add something. Let's not just be like take. Let's give something. Let's give them opportunity to do something different. Do they like to go? Would they like to go for a walk? Would they like to read a book? Would they like to go to the park? Putting something else into it instead of just taking the technology away. Because it's technology is here. Until it's no longer here, it's here. So, I don't think we can get around that to just like saying, oh, we never gonna, unless you live totally off the grid, that's possible. But with these new babies, no, technology, they coming out walking with phones like, hey. So I think
and the only thing I would add to that is, you can add game night, where you're learning how to, or doing Monopoly, chess, Trivial Pursuit, like where you're actually doing activities together. It's going to require something of our time, energy, and attention to get them to put down the technology. So, even for ourselves, how often are we on our phones? Right, or attached to our phones, or won't even turn so make a time where everybody puts their technology down. Sunday afternoon from 12 to 7, no technology. And then let's cook together. Let's go to the library. Let's go to a museum. Let's do something, let's have a chess tournament. Everybody play each other. I mean, you can be so creative inside of spending time with one another. And, I knew a family, they had one table on the side, and they had puzzle pieces, like 5,000 puzzle pieces. And so everybody had to put 10 pieces down a day, and then they made a game. How quick can we do this puzzle? Can we do this puzzle in a month? can we do this puzzle in a week or two, you know, but it was like a game. And then when they finished, they would mount it and it would become a piece of art for the house that everybody created, you know. And I think that's just a wonderful way to include things, and so that we're not always criticizing, you know, put that down, but that we actually, you know, like you guys are saying, add something to it, you know. Lan, did you have anything on that, Iccha?
In this moment, let's see. What could I say in this moment? Wow. In this moment, I'm speechless. In this.
Okay, that's cool. We're at the end of the night, so we really did really good, you know. And I just really want to acknowledge your participation, Iccha, and just for holding the space for us and being here with us all week. And Alanda and Ninii, you know, your energy has been amazing. I'm sure that everybody who listened in and will listen in have been gifted by your presence and your knowledge and your insight. And like we said, we'll be posting resources into the Ignite Your Soul Connection fan page. And you can find out more information on themasterforce.com. And all of these videos are there for replay. So if you want to go back and look at anything, they're all on the website. They'll be there available to you. If you want to send people over there to look at them, they're there as well. And actually, Ninii and Alanda have offerings, and Iccha does too. Iccha has the Destiny card offering so that you can really get your card reading for a family of 5. And then Ninii, you have the play date.
Yes.
And then Alanda has the dinner date. So one of the ways that you can support our community, Master Force, is to, you know, really participate with us by, you know, signing up for some of the offerings. Timothy had a reading for the natal charts for both the family and the child. And then Aaron actually had intuitive readings, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So really, you know, so yeah, that's the end of Ignite Your Soul Connection 7.5. Earth Children. Yay. Thank you all for such an amazing, amazing week. Do you have any last words? Any last words before we sign off?
I just very humble. Oh.
We both start talking at the same time. Go ahead.
I'm just very humbled to be a part of the Summer Solstice Ignite Your Soul Connection. I've done all the winter ones. It's not all of them, but I've done a couple of winter ones. This is my first summer one. And it's been just a really humbling and great experience. It's always good. I feel like I learned so much from being a part of this and watching the other coaches, and it's an amazing experience. I can't even tell you, but it's a pleasure to be able to come and to speak with everyone and be present with my team. This is my family, my MFC family. I love you guys so much, and it's just a humbling experience.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
And I want to say just thank you again. It is a pleasure to be part of this. I remember when this first began, the Unite Your Soul Connection in the very first one, and how informative it was, and how I was like, I would just be all ears and listening. I was so engaged with it, and always like, I want to do that one day. And never thought I would be doing it now, you know, doing it like this. But I am very grateful for the experience. I have come to know some great people with Master Force. Our community is like a family. We have a family of many people. We have many family members of MFC all over the world. basically. And we have those that want to be MFC coaches, but they haven't crossed over yet. And I just want, they haven't crossed, they're curious, but they ain't crossed over. But I just want to say thank you guys, everybody this week. You all have been very informative. I am going to watch it all over again, take notes, and just thank you once again for tuning in, you guys. Thank you, Iccha, for being here all week. Thank you, me. I love you guys. Thank you.
And then, you know, I want to give a shout out to Kim Taylor, who has been behind the scenes all this week, just holding the space for us, doing all the research, posting the resources, really following and making sure that the audience is taken care of, just really talking to us and making sure that we're providing the best that we can as we do this. I also want to shout out to my Jackson family, Jaquay, Timothy, Nicole, Dolly, and my housemate, Sean. I mean, everybody has been just so gracious in holding the space for us getting this done this week. I mean, from wardrobe to food to cleaning up and, you know, nurturing. I mean, it's just really been an amazing contribution from the Jackson, Tennessee family. So you're right. We have some just wonderful people that we can now call family, you know, all over the world, you know. And Iccha, Devi, you've always been my favorite co-host, and you've been quiet today, but I already know, you know, we gonna find out what that's about when we're done.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna sign out now, and if you guys need to reach us at any time, again, all of us are someplace on themasterforce.com, and we look forward to the winter solstice when we will talk to you on Ignite Your Soul Connection 2017. Thank you. Good night. Y'all stay
Good night.
Stay there.